Diary entry number 12, written February 7th, 2000. My recovery team was not all that comfortable with the idea of sending me back to the classroom so soon after the accident, but I was stubborn. They were also all exceptionally worried about me teaching a full schedule. It was not the content of the lessons that would cause me fatigue, but the volume of cognitive activity that my brain had to withstand for the entire day. Teaching, how soon I forgot, is a tiring profession. I had 2 other classes of over-anxious, loud, and artistic advanced film students, as well as a large group of underachieving, general-level media students without an ounce of self-confidence in their bloodstreams. This made for a long and challenging day today. My snack pack that I carried, a plastic bag full of raisins, nuts, and pineapple chunks, was not enough to keep me going strong. I distinctly remember a tired and tingly and floating sensation taking over my entire body today. These common sensations of fatigue to someone who has suffered a head injury are signals of exhaustion that must be dealt with. It is your brain yelping for help, the nurses would tell me in the hospital. Without exception, every day by 3 o'clock I was ready to go home. I felt foolish for taking on so much so early. I was determined to push myself. As dangerous as this may sound, I wanted to continue with the same schedule. I could have easily gone to a part-time schedule with medical support from my doctors, but I was convinced that these sensations would subside in time. On my way back to the Fine Arts office, I noticed a red 94 Toyota station wagon waiting by the doors where I had requested to be picked up. I requested to be picked up at 3:30. It was 3:15. The twin was early. This guy did not look like Harold, although the beard did look relatively familiar. I assumed that this was my way home. Lucky me. I got in the car and complete silence. Complete silence for 50 minutes. It was comforting until we hit Lakeshore Boulevard East. After a mysterious and erratic lane change, I heard something quite disturbing. In the station compartment in the back of the car, under plastic tarp, the clicking of bottles was very evident. How could this be happening? A porn lover in the morning and a silent drunk driver in the afternoon. We arrived at my home, thankfully safe, and ingeniously, while getting my Bill Miles coat back on, I purposely dropped the sports section on top of the plastic orange tarp in the back of the car. When I reached back to retrieve my coat, I pulled the tarp far enough back to expose what I had expected: several full and empty beer bottles. Could it have been that the twin arrived in Orangeville early enough to have a couple of beers while waiting for me at the same time, making himself believe that he was courteous and professional, just in case I was ready to go home a little early? As the car puffed away from my home, I tried to remember the license plate number that I had stared at as the car left my field of vision. The local police would have been very happy to get the specifics of a possible drunk driver on the loose. With my short-term memory at the time not being very good, a quick recall of the letters and numbers of the license plate was not possible. I called Noreen to tell her about the day's strange events. She canceled the service immediately. It was time for the Buckingham livery service. Join me next week for diary entry number 13. We're going to meet my chauffeur, Johnny.